That's how you know it's starting.
Yep. Hey guys, how's it going? We are going live with some Facebook stuff here. I know we actually have two feeds going. One's on my personal page, the other one is on our business page. So wanted to just say hello. Chris Lagarde, Derek Ryan here from the Chris and Caleb Real Estate Team, where our mission is to dramatically impact lives through real estate. So here's what I wanted to talk about today. I've had the privilege of knowing this dude for the last 3 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I have a really cool announcement to make, which I'll make right now. He's climbed the ladder and just crushed everything. Like we're so happy to be in business with this guy. He's one of the best guys I know, and he's now our new lead buyer specialist. So he's earned the right to crush it there. So good job, brother. Really excited to have him in that capacity and role. And really, what are you most excited about that position? Like, what do you want to do with that? You've crushed other things. What do you want to do in that role?
Yeah. So I'm really excited to build something. Once you sort of get in the groove of doing things that you're comfortable with, you've experienced before, things like that. I'm really excited to help build something, make it bigger, make it better. As a team, we have a goal of selling 250 homes this year.
Yep.
I'm excited to have a buyer side of our team doing 250 sales a year or more, and taking it there. That's what I'm really excited about. So
yeah, love to see that. All right, cool. So here's what I wanted to have him on and ask him about. He started like 3 years ago, give or take. Got his license 3 years ago. Had really no intention of getting into real estate at all.
I studied psychology.
Exactly, at Eastern University.
In Spanish that I don't remember.
Hola. So when we interviewed him, we're like, hey man, why don't you come and be a part of our real estate team, and we'll teach you the ropes. And he's like, all right. So he started out as a showing agent, did that for a year and a half, give or take, and then
about a year, full year in a couple months.
Yep. And then he eventually came on as a buyer specialist in the beginning, end of 2015, but really the beginning of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the results were that he sold 24 homes last year in 2016. And then this year, how many have you sold year to date?
We're at 27.
27. So in 5 months, he sold more homes than he did in 12 months. And so that's not typical. Most people don't create that much success. So what I wanted to know from you was why? How did that happen? What'd you do? What's different?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say there's three main things that have really personally that I can control that's made a big difference in my business here personally, and that would be my database, managing a database, building a database, my habits, and then the third thing, what was I? Pipeline. I told him this before. I was like, what are you going to ask me? You got to tell me. And so database, Chris, when I first joined, the very first thing he had me do 3 years ago was say, hey, you need to build a database. Honestly, I had no idea what that was. I said, what do I need to do? He told me, so I just did it when things were slow or I had nothing else to do. I just was constantly building the database. So now, 3 years later, people in my database, there's about 600 folks that are being consistently marketed to via mail, online, and that we speak to on a regular basis. And then that database feeds the pipeline being the business that's coming up in the future, people that are looking to buy, sell, or invest in the next year to 2 years. So as that pipeline has grown, for 2 years, all I was doing was building the pipeline, basically. And so now here we are, year 3, and which is what Chris said, it's going to take 3 to 5 years probably for your database to really start producing business for you. And as it's really started to grow, it's done just that.
Yep.
People who know you, trust you, like you, want to do business with you. And so the third thing was habits.
So what habits
would
you, maybe the top 2 or 3 that contributed to the success?
Yeah, I would say number one habit that's contributed to success would probably be diligence on my time. And that starts as soon as I wake up. I usually wake up about 4:20, 4:15 in the morning, get to the gym by 5, home by 6, shower, eat, read, pray, get ready for work basically by like around 7. And we're rocking and rolling so that the whole rest of the day can be dedicated to work. And then the other habit that I've thought a lot about is TV time. I do the best I can. There, maybe 1 or 2 shows I'll occasionally watch, but generally speaking, unless I'm, going to be watching a movie on date night or something like that. Date night. Other than that, I really don't watch TV. I do the best I can to read in my free time or study, look at numbers, things like that, lead generate, those types of activities.
So we were talking before this. A theme that's come up, by the way, Christina, great to see you, and Doug, thanks for sharing this. A concept that's come up recently in my life in a couple different places lately a lot is loving the process, falling in love with the process. So we talked a little bit about that. What does that mean specifically for real estate?
Right. So real estate is a business of lead generation. Simple as that.
Well, most businesses really are. If you're in sales
Right.
or you're selling, I don't care what you're doing. Even if you're a nonprofit, you still have to lead generate for donations or people to be involved and volunteers. I mean, anybody that runs a church knows that. So
Yeah, volunteers, anything. And so the thing that really blows my mind is it's a super simple concept. You find people that are looking to do business, and that's not a salesy thing. It really isn't. Most of the people I do business with, or we as a team do business with for that matter, are people that they have a need. They're looking to either sell a home or buy a home or invest in real estate, and we just so happen to be folks that are in that business. We don't sell anybody anything.
Right.
I've never talked to anybody into purchasing a home, to be honest with you. I've talked a lot of people out of purchasing homes. I don't say that to be like proud. It's just the fact of the matter is we're not salespeople. We really aren't. We're serving people because they have a need, and we happen to have the ability to serve.
Servant over salesman.
Servant over salesman.
Well, and to interrupt you a little bit, it's really about getting people the information they need to make the most educated, best decision for
We're
themselves.
consultants, essentially.
Exactly.
So that's falling in love with the process. Simply lead generating.
Yep.
Talk to people that you're in real estate. That's as simple as it gets. I'm an extrovert and I like to talk, so it's easy.
Well, and let me add to that as far as loving the process. Where that first came up was with some champions, the best in the world at CrossFit. CrossFit Games are coming up in August. The regionals are happening right now, and just the process of day in, day out, getting to the gym, doing what needs to be done, and that it can equate to all of our lives. Every single person watching this, that's gonna watch this at some point, what is it in your life that you've got to fall in love with and do day after day after day? For us, it's lead generation. For me specifically, because I'm in charge of talent and hiring people, it's talking to the right people and just having those conversations. And so it's falling in love with that process. Getting up at 4:15, 4:30 in the morning like he and I do. Falling in love with that and seeing the results. Because I'll tell you, when I don't do that, when I don't go to the gym in the morning, the rest of my day is sluggish, which is weird. But I love the process and the routine that I've created around my life that creates success.
So to sort of piggyback on something he mentioned really quickly, he's in charge of building our business essentially, as hiring people, that kind of thing. Our team's mission is to dramatically impact lives through real estate. You're getting a call.
Yep.
So one of the things along those lines is I very strongly identify with that personal mission because of where I was essentially. I graduated from college. No lie, I had $12 between two bank accounts and no job. I had no idea what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And they took a chance on me, and they said, hey, this is an impactful business that you can get involved with. And so I did. I took that leap of faith. And to be honest with you, that's a very similar story to some degree for almost all of our clients, a vast majority of them, where they're like, they're in a position and they need something. A lot of times people we're working with, whether it's first-time home buyers that don't know where they're going, or somebody has tough credit that they've sort of worked through or worked out, or whatever kind of situation is, a lot of the people that we work with, they need their lives to be dramatically impacted by real estate, and that's just one of the cool things that
to do.
Yeah, so the team has changed my life a lot. I would give back all the money, all that other stuff, just for all the knowledge and experience and things that I've been able to sort of glean from Chris and Caleb and everybody else with regard to the training, books I've read, things like that. Partially because I know that because it's now in my head, I can do it all over again. And then the other thing is just because the habits that I've been able to create, and we keep coming back to that, is all about that.
Habits.
If you come back to your habits, what are you doing every single day to get you to where you want to go?
Yep.
If you're wasting your time, there's this rapper I like named Andy Mineo. He says, how are you going to complete your life's checklist if you spend every night watching Netflix? And it's a very simple line, and yet for my generation, millennials and everybody, what the heck? You have these big goals. You plan on doing these amazing things with your life, and yet if you spend all the time watching TV or doing things that don't get you any closer to that goal, you're wasting your time.
And you're loving the wrong process.
Right.
And look, there's nothing wrong with watching Netflix. I'm into Peaky Blinders at the moment. Don't hurt me for that. But it's like I do watch some of that a couple times a week, but I limit that because I know that that's not going to get me and my family where we want to go. So all right, let's wrap this up with this question because I think this is really important. How has the team played a role in your success? Because part of my role is to look for people who want to create success themselves and maybe
Right.
do that through our business. And so tell us a little bit, like, if you were not on a team, what would that have looked like, but like you've seen what single agents, where they're at, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's great, but how has that helped accelerate your success?
Right. So I was talking to somebody recently who I look up to a lot in real estate, and he was saying, why do people choose to be on a team? Why would anybody choose to be on a team, even if they have a very successful business themselves? And the short answer is it helps you get to where you want to go quicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shortest answer. Is I have these big goals, these big life aspirations. I want to change the world. We can talk about that another time. And the big answer is the team has helped me get to where I want to be and where I'm going faster than if I were to be on my own. With things like training, we have a budget to allow for training, learning sessions where you can just be around some really high thinkers and successful people, as well as leads. Being on a team, we do a lot of business, we have a lot of listings, so that comes along with some leads as well. Where if somebody's looking to buy a house and I happen to interact with them and help them with that, it's huge. And so those are a couple of big things: training, leads.
Let me ask you about mindset.
Mindset. That along with habits, huge. I would, like I said, I would give everything over the past 3 years for the habits I've learned and the mindset,
Right.
and just what I've been able to sort of put in my head, because that makes all the difference in the world. When you can see, you can visualize goals, when you can visualize a life for yourself, when you can think in abundance and not
Right.
out of a scarcity where you're like, hey, there's only so much, no, there's an unlimited amount of everything. It really is so true. There really is. Same with your time in your day, and we'll talk about that.
With
too.
mindset, if you had to tell, let's say somebody's watching this that, maybe they're younger and they're struggling with what they want to do, or they're not succeeding, or maybe they're older and they've hit a wall, maybe they've lost a job, or they just don't feel satisfied in work. From a mindset standpoint, what's one thing you would tell them from a mindset standpoint? What and maybe something that's practical?
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot here. But.
Yeah. No, I would say read books. Read books for things you aspire towards. And a quote I've been thinking a ton about, 2 quotes actually. So the same mindset you've had to get to where you are at this point in your life is going to be the same mindset that will keep you in this point of your life.
Yeah.
You're going to need to improve something, whether that means learn more, change how you think about things, change how you view life, change how you view the world to get you over that to the next level, whatever that is. And the last one is working on your business makes you a living, and working on yourself makes you a life.
Yeah.
And that's where the education and learning and growing, it's all about like what's in your head and what's in your heart. You can't teach character, and you can't unlearn what you've already learned. There's another quote recently. It's you can't unstretch an already stretched mind. Like once your mind grows to comprehend something or view something or understand something, you can't just go back. You can't unsee that or unlearn that. So that's one of the coolest things. I just can't go back to thinking the way I thought when I first got into real estate, because I understand the world in a different way now.
And I would add to that, and the last thing we'll say is look at the environment you're in. All right, if it's a negative
That's
environment, or it's putting you down, or it's it's not helping your mindset, think about, pray about making a change or looking for a change. One of the things we meet every week as a team on Fridays, and I've taken it on myself, and I've asked other team members, they've helped as well, but just to find things that will help our mindset. And we all are always, when we're around each other, trying to be positive, trying to not use certain words like but or try. It's a big one around here. Is there's no buts, there's no try. It's like, all right, I intend to do this, or I don't intend to do it. There's no in between. So get around people, find environments that are going to help you create the mindset that is going to get you where you want to go, if that makes sense. So
Baby steps, whether
Baby
that
steps.
means getting it out of your house for something, go do work in a coffee shop, go, do work with a buddy or a friend who you get along with well.
Absolutely.
We're probably crushing it on.
Yeah, we are. It's a little longer.
Yeah.
But anyway, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If this was helpful to you in any way, please share this. Please comment, let us know. Give us feedback. What's your thoughts? If you think we're nuts for certain things, say it. I'd love to hear it and have a conversation about this. So please do that, and we'd love to hear back from you. For now, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.
I always never know when these things actually turn off.
It probably isn't off yet. I know, it's like I'm not sure either.